This case was filed in that's the chapter 7 forced liquidation. Yeah, that's the one judge said he wasn't going to appear in court with us anymore, so he gave it to him.
That's not cabinet?
Do I?
Is it to the other judge with cabinet?
Not yet. He might get free room and board for about 30 years in federal prison.
Did you turn your mic back on?
I think it is on.
That's not.
Yes.
No.
I bet that's good.
I understand it better this way, but not.
That was dead, didn't it? Yes. Yeah, no one turned it on.
I don't think it's been on this afternoon.
You don't think so? I have it turned on. Get it right there.
Yeah.
Okay. My electrifying personality. Okay. Y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
We got 10 recorders hooked up to this.
With the rain, your nose is growing again.
We got 3 recorders. I don't know if they're
Oh, we recording this? I didn't know. We can make, oh, it's turned off. We got it off. Okay. All right. Back up. Okay. We have an administrative for a clerk who recorded an unlawful lien, and an administrative for a clerk who refuses to record your documents. Now, real important one, go down to file documents and the court refuses, she just violated the law under Title 18, Chapter 101, Section 2071B. Title 18, Chapter 101, Section, that is concealment, felony. Title 18, Chapter 101, Subsection 2071B. Clerk who conceals from the public record is committing a felony. And penalty is up to 3 years in prison, plus a fine, plus they can never participate in any job for the United States ever again. Qualified from holding their office, or any other office for the United States. That's a pretty severe penalty for a clerk. Now, you go down there and you file this criminal case against the clerk down there with about 6 witnesses. An opportunity to file your paperwork in front of 6 witnesses. You've got 6 affidavits. Then what you do is you file a verified affidavit of criminal complaint. The difference between an affidavit of criminal complaint and a verified affidavit of criminal complaint is that you can prove that evidence. You've got 6 affidavits stating that clerk refused to steal your documents from the public record. That is a federal felony charge. Now, I can't make them prosecute the clerk, and it's going to be difficult to get it done, I'm sure. But I'll tell you what will happen, because you're going to file this with the federal magistrate. This is a federal magistrate. Federal court, federal U.S. District Court. This is what I predict will happen, because I've done this stuff before. And this is what I did this against a judge. When a magistrate said, Mr. Turner, violating civil rights is a very serious charge. It's against the Constitution of this great nation. And I want him prosecuted. Allow me an opportunity. Yes, sir. And I think I told him I'd give him 30 days or so. So, prosecute the judge. What happened is when we appeared in court the next Wednesday, the judge, who had already told my friend he was going to put him in prison for 3.5 years, called the case, the JK, he didn't even get to talk business. But it was a case to start with, and he did violate civil rights. I had 12 affidavits on that case. Now, they didn't arrest the judge, and they didn't prosecute the judge, but they didn't care about the law. They just let us know right quick, we're going to prosecute him. And you know what the case was about? He got a big tag on a little bitty utility truck. And they were going to give him 3.5 years in prison. Not even within the guidelines of the law to begin with, I went and helped my friend in this case, and the judge looked at me and said, "Who are you?" And I said, told him my name. The bar attorney, I said, "No, sir, I'm not barred from telling the truth." That made my brownie points with him. We got a response out of the audience. That just made him mad. Then, you don't have anything that you can say in this case. I said, "Well, I have a couple of things." He said, "If you open your mouth again, I'm going to find you in contempt of court." And I looked at him and I said, "This ain't over, big boy." I walked out and got my group together. They came. We'd had 2 or 3 hearings with this judge. So we had a pretty good group with us. We had an affidavit. This judge had violated this man's civil rights. He allowed him to submit evidence in the case and go next to the things he did. Now, then I went down to the sheriff's department and ordered an arrest warrant for the judge. He comes out and says, "You need to arrest him. He's a judge." I said, "So? Is a judge above the law?" "Well, no, but he's a judge." I said, "But so, what's that got to do with it?" I said, "A judge is no different than me and you. Don't like it like we do. This just costs a little more." But he said, "But I can't arrest him. He's a judge." I said, "So then, in other words, you're obstructing justice here. I'm going to have to bring a charge against you now." "But he's a judge." "He's a judge." He said, "Hold on just a minute. Before you do anything, let me see." So they went back and they had a power on the back of the bill in his office. We was in the office. About 10 or 15 minutes they came. "Mr. Turner, we'd be happy to accommodate you and help you, but that happened in the city limits. You got to go see the chief of police." Got me on the technicality. He was right. So I went down to the chief of police's office in the city. Of course, they knew we were coming, I'm sure. Got the same response from him, "But he's a judge. You can't arrest a judge." I said, "Well, no. Where's it saying in the law he's any different than anybody else?" "But he's a judge." So I said, "Well, then, you're going to be involved in obstruction of justice just like the sheriff was." "Well, but he's a judge." "Well, that's all right. We'll just go to the feds and we'll get done over there. We're going to bring a criminal warrant against your arrest for obstruction of justice as well." "But he's a judge." "That's okay." And so that's when we went to the magistrate. He told me he'd work it over. Sometimes, even though you don't get people prosecuted, you still get the respect and you get your way. Because they know you're breaking the law and they know that you know it now. And the federal magistrates, they'll protect their buddies to a point. But I can just imagine that conversation. That federal magistrate called that county. Obviously somebody talked to him because next day he didn't want to talk to us anymore. Sometimes you can go over the head of anything's done here. So if you go and you file take 6 affidavits and do a verified affidavit of criminal complaint against the clerk for not filing your documents, Title 18, go before the federal magistrate, they might not prosecute that clerk. They will. But I will promise you, call from that federal magistrate. Gets that call from that federal magistrate, the puffer factor is going to increase tremendously. And I'll guarantee that the next time you go down to that office, that if you want to file anything, they won't resist. If you want to file your shopping list, you'll do it.
I got an example, something like that today before
But you're making an error, John. Now, you remember this. Anytime you correspond with these people, send it by certified or registered mail by notary presentment. No, you got to have your witnesses because it's an audit and receive anything. You got to cover your bases. I mean, you won because she's done her about you. John, the bulldog, go shake. You already know you're going to take her on and you're enjoying it now. You got created a monster way. This guy's having too much fun. He has had a judge that has just absolutely been a tyrant. Last hearing, he acted like a Sunday school teacher. Yes, sir. It doesn't matter what they say. It says in Title 18 that if any clerk, that conceals documents from the public record is guilty of a felony. So let them argue with that. Well, it's okay. They're committing fraud because that clerk gets public funds to file public documents, and we're members of the public.
I've got something against me. Anything with it, they have come.
Well, I'm sure.
But we did it.
Then every day, and you can't win. respond to my negative averment within 21 days with documented evidence that is certified by the officers of this court, I'm going to take your stuff. And that's just how easy it is. It is. It really is. I'm going to take your stuff. And they have no immunity to it whatsoever. They can't stop it. 18 says they can see my documents. I'm a member of the public. They can see funds to file or record documents, and they're not doing their job. So they're defrauding me. Did not part of my tax money pay their salary last year? Taxpayer? No. Hammer them with that. Okay. Next day we're going to go over these in detail tomorrow. We're just talking about it a little bit today. Administrative to a bank who unlawfully garnishes your funds, takes money from your account without a district court order. That could be fun. Already done one. Billy Ray's got one. He's fixing to take a bank.
What kind of thing would that be?
Doesn't matter. Remember that the 14th Amendment says, no private property can be taken without due process of law. Anything. If they take money out of your account.
If the IRS attached, the bank has to give it to them. I mean,
No, they don't.
I don't mean they have to, but they
will.
do it. And so it's the.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Let's see. I'll do the office thing tomorrow. I'll tell you all about how this really works tomorrow. Right now, I'm showing you what we're going to talk about and the ones that we're going to do tomorrow. Okay. About a district court order, according to Title 26, Chapter 35, that I don't remember for sure. But in Title 26, plainly states proof that they have to have a district court order. They district or garnish. Got to go to court. No longer do that. They can't not do it. And they're not doing that. And the reason they're not doing it is because the judges routinely won't sign these bogus liens. Because they don't have any proof there's a lien stock with, or any evidence that they have the authority to bring a lien. So when they go to the judge, they have difficulty getting them signed, so they just issue orders from the IRS. They don't have the authority to do that. The way they can do it legally, and it's in their own Title 26, their own law says that it has to go through a district court. The judge from the district court has to give an order to do that. They're not doing that. So if a bank takes something from you and takes money out of your account for IRS or any other reason other than a district court order, they just violated the law. Oh, absolutely. That's what it was.
Say that when we sign the credit card agreements, that we agree to it.
And you
illegal.
You have to.
If we did it in those documents that we signed.
Yeah, because you can sign agreements.
But I'm saying it's in that fine print they say somewhere.
That invisible mean?
Yeah, it's the invisible and stuff. So the point you're making is since they didn't co-sign that contract.
That's not full disclosure. If they got one technicality there, full disclosure. Remember, if you didn't get full disclosure of the contract, you cannot render a legal signature. Give a legal signature if you don't get full, because you have to have full disclosure in order to give a legal signature. Didn't get it, did you?
And you actually have two signatures to have a contract anyway.
Yeah, it's a unilateral contract. It's not a contract. It applies to any kind of account.
That if you trust, effectively.
Yeah, strong
trust.
Yes, yes.
That environment, that you're familiar with the rules and
Contract is a contract. All contract applies, period, because we are operating in commerce.
Right.
Contracts still apply. They've got to meet the elements of the contract. Administrative for an IRS agent for unlawful lien levy. Anytime that an IRS agent places a lien, notices a lien, again, without a proper court order to back it up with, he is committed a crime. Oh, this is an administrative permit to put out of his house. No. Administrative for an IRS agent for dishonorable body promissory. Now, I got two of those in right now. Court negative averment for a traffic ticket. That is there by popular demand. Now, traffic tickets are real fun. Have a lot of fun with them. Got a lot of tactics. Some of them I've used, and some of them I think. You have to have a damaged party, right? For somebody's traffic ticket for speeding or somebody, no property was injured, no person was injured. Damaged party. The state is damaged party. Okay? The Constitution says, or the Bill of Rights says, that we have the right to face our accusers. The law requires them to bring our accusers. That question. Okay? The law requires it. So, if that's the case, don't bring forward. My questions to him are you the damaged party? No, I'm not. Right here. Are you the state of Washington or the state of Texas or the state of Alabama? Are you the state of Alabama? Are the damaged party. Were you with the damaged party at the time of the incident? Right in the car with you. Your Honor, I want to strike this witness's testimony from the record because it's hearsay evidence, because he was not the damaged party or with the damaged party at the time of the incident. Problem all of a sudden now. Got a nature and cause problem. Nature and cause. They have to tell you, they have to show you the law, and they have to prove that they can do this. Who's the damaged party here? And if they continue to say, well, we're going to say the state is the damaged party, say, well, I got witnesses I'm going to call, Your Honor. I'm going to bring 3 or 4 phone books with me. We'll start with these. Just call these first. Because in the state of Texas, we'll get started with the Dallas phone books. Call these guys. You're saying they're the damaged parties. I won't talk to them. One question. Well, you see that in a case down in Alabama. We didn't do the phone book. After 3.5 hours of arguing back and forth with them about they didn't have a damaged party, didn't have a legal right to even stand and bring a claim and all that kind of stuff, the judge finally looked over at me. At first he told me when we went in there with this guy, well, my case was somebody else's case. Are you a licensed attorney? Yes, sir, I am. Oh, really? Did I see your license? Absolutely. Licensed attorney. I'm barred. So he said, well, you're not a member of the Alabama bar. I said, no. Well, I can't allow you to speak for somebody else unless you're a barred. I understand that. That's really, what do you want to do here? I said, I just want to resolve this thing as easily as possible. And my friend was time in prison and all this kind of stuff. And I said, don't think he deserves it. I said, well, what can we do? What can we do? I asked him for it to be found. I want to lessen the impact. Yeah, in this particular case, I had 2 priors. One of them I wouldn't help him with. The second one, I did help him, but I didn't try to get him off of it. I made a deal. I'll help the third one in a month. And first I told him it's not going to help him. But I got talking to him about the details of the case, and he wasn't drinking that morning. Reason to know because he stayed at my house that night, and no, he didn't have nothing to drink that morning. Those 2 times, he probably, one of them I know he was drunk. I told him. The other time was questionable. The third time, he was just being harassed. Officers involved, and thought about what happened. And so I don't believe that he was drinking that particular case. Now, the other 2, he probably was. The judge said, he said, I talked to him. But I'm going to plead guilty. I said, well, son, I said, I might not have been guilty of this. I said, but I've got away with a lot more than that somewhere else. So, you're getting a sweet deal here. I want to fight and go to court. I said, well, you can go to court if you will. And he said, I was doing the talking. 5 years in prison if you don't take this deal off my way. I mean, I don't think anybody, Perry Mason couldn't have done no better than that. Okay. Traffic ticket can be a lot of fun. Good one to learn about court. If you ever really want to learn about court, go down and sit in traffic. Watch them hurtle through like cows. Yeah. Ka-ching, 300, 1,200, 700, 700, 250, 500. I mean, that's to a steady stream. In our traffic court, it's not uncommon to have 125 or 30 people days a week. Run every one of them through there, and almost every week of the year, probably holiday season, it might not do it. These guys are just fleecing the public left and right. Now I sit there and watch these people do that. Money stream. It's obvious what court's about. It doesn't matter what you do about evidence, you're going to pay something. Well, revenue. Absolutely. But you can have a condition move for a dismissal like the evidence because your accusers, the judge will often get the state continuous and then come back. Learn about court. That's one of the best ways to do. Just go attend traffic court and watch. If they got a place you can. Some places they won't let you in unless you're turning. Now when I go down there, they generally call me up to the bench and say, Mr. Charles Hall and talk to the district. Sure, no problem. Curing a negative averment. Negative averment is cured after the number of days that you place on it. I recommend 21 days because the U.S. Code says that 20 days is sufficient notice. 20 days is all that's required for a notification. And I can show you that in hard copy and prove that do something 20 days. So I put 21 days on my negative averments. I have cured them as little as 3 and 1, and I have done many of them 14 days. However, I like the 21 because there's no gray area. I can hard copy out and I'll show it to you. I like to be able to do that because that way they can't find any fault with what I do. Negative averment is cured on 21 days after they receive it. Cured means that it is over. You win. One case. On and answer it. And I've never seen one answer. Never. I've seen some feeble attempts at answering them, but I've never seen one answer. show you why they can't answer. Good affirmative right or negative affirmative right, or you'll never have an answer. I never have. How they know you? Right, these they know that you know. They'll act like they're not. But what has an impact on them? When it is cured, you won. It is cured. They have exhausted their administrative remedy. That's the magic words to remember. Exhausted their administrative. That means they have gone as far as they can go in that case. They cannot put they can't do anything in this case. It's over. Now, a judge is going to try to dismiss it, and we'll talk tomorrow about all that, what you do. But they're going to try to convince you that they can dismiss it, and acquiesce, they will. I'm going to show you how not to do that. Because once that 21 days is over, it is over. You win. They lose, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Nothing. Big bad judge can't do a thing with it. A fork in him, he's done. End of it. Expecting a negative averment is just a formality after you cure it. The case is over. Now you got to perfect it though. If you want to make your lien valuable and you want to be able to remove stuff, you got to perfect it properly. Do it with 3 notices. First notice of fault, the second notice of fault, and the final notice of default. Pass all those on your disc tomorrow about the notices and time periods, and we'll cover that tomorrow. Final thing that you do for the perfection of it is you have to have a judgment. The case is not over till the judgment is done. Fine. They notice set is the admiralty final judgment. It is a default judgment. Once it's entered, it can never be challenged. Because it's a default judgment. Because they acquiesce. Answer. They had a chance to defend their claim. They didn't answer in the 20 days. They gave up all rights to defend against that claim. All you have to be able to do is prove it. Tomorrow, step by step. Next document you will do is the notary affidavit of non-response. That affidavit of non-response certifies the default judgment. Have your 2 independent witnesses, postal service that shows all your notices, and the statements from the notary that shows where they did the notary presentments. And you also will have an affidavit of non-response from the notary state that they didn't respond. That seals your judgment. And a lawyer called me here a few weeks ago and said, well, we need a summary judgment on your lien. I said, why? Because we need a judge's order. I said, why would we want to do that? I said, that's a lesser judgment than what I've already got. And so I said, have you read Rule 5556? Yeah. I said, well, you need to read Rule 5556. You'll find out that a default judgment is a superior judgment to a summary judgment by a judge. Disagreed with it. Go to respond. So they acquiesced. And so he went and read it. A couple of days later, he called me back and said, well, you're right. I said, well, I knew I was right. I want to make sure you. After you do that, we do a maritime lien. Show you the maritime lien that was placed on the record by UCC1 and put on the county record. Get to that stage, you're going to hear the chickens cackling.
Well, the county or the state?
Both.
Oh, okay.
The one with the state, and then you file it in the local county. Now, we used to file them with DOT. Not required to be filed with DOT. In fact, right now they're in a changeover with Homeland Security, and they don't have an office. Probably not completely true, but they don't have to file them. I read the law on it, and we don't have to even file them. The reason we file them is because it puts a lien on all their stuff on the public record. Part of the have to go to the state. Have to do it for them there. And if you want to do it, just do it on Washington. Washington State. The easiest way to do it, Washington State. That's the national form. That's good everywhere.
Is that what you're saying? It does not matter which state it's in?
On public record. Do it on Washington national form. Denise can show you how to do that in about 5 minutes. You can do it online. It's really easy to do. We're going to go through the UCC1 filing on Washington State form tomorrow. We've got them filled out for you to look at and show you how to do it. Okay. The county, you record the lien in the county, property that they have in that county. If they have it in multiple counties, you need to file in all the counties where the property is held. You might find lawyers on the property all over the place. Well, you may need a private investigator to find all their property. Well, it's obvious. I mean, they have, Joe Schmo lawyer, and so it's a lawyer right down Main Street, usually. Sometimes a lot of these bigger law firms own their own buildings, And they usually have nice real estate. Down in one in Dothan, in Espy, down in Dothan, down there one day, Jack picked up something. I walked around the lobby looking around. Can I help you? I said, yeah. I said, we're going to have to change this wallpaper in here. I said, I like blue. She said, well, who are you, sir? I said, my name's Tim Turner. She said, oh. And she went back in her little hole.
What about property outside the country?
These are international claims. You can file them anywhere. They can property wherever it's at. Anyway. That I can't honestly say, but it'd be any country that is in trade with the United States. Maritime liens are ancient liens. They're over in this country. Now, maritime lien, the importance of the maritime lien is it's the most powerful lien on the planet. Yeah, and agricultural liens are good liens. Maritime lien takes precedent of all of them. Bottom line. Why don't mess with the other liens? Commercial liens, agricultural liens, mechanics liens. Why do that? Get the best one there is. Why not do it?
First that we were
Taken. I can show it to you as well. In fact, it's in the documents that I'm going to give you. You can read. Maritime lien takes precedent over any other lien. Doesn't matter when it's filed. Face at the time, no matter if it's first time, it goes to first time. So, in other words, if I put a lien against your house and you're a fancy schmancy lawyer out here, and you got a $5 million house and you have a $3 million mortgage on it, I can take your house and you still have a mortgage. Can be done, yes. We'll talk about that tomorrow, how to do that. Proper way to do it. Don't just go start throwing these things around. Don't do them right. Absolutely. The agricultural lien is not an agricultural. It is an maritime law is the supreme. And that's what it's like to keep you out. These are legal references you can go investigate here. Benedict's on admiralty. Chapter 28, page 17 talks about the dismissal of a maritime lien. A maritime lien can only be dismissed by the party that puts it on. That's it. Nobody else can do it. The judge can't do it. The jury can't do it. Nobody can do it. Nobody on the planet. We put a 50-year date on these liens, and they're good for 50 years. If I die, it's still stuck. Yeah, because then I can't dismiss it. I'll probably get my signature then. So people say, well, why don't they just kill you, get rid of the lien? Well, because they can't. I sign and release it. Oh, yeah. Sure, it's a sign. That's totally, these liens are great. Ain't no different. They're totally assignable. All of that stuff is on your disc. You can read all about these liens. Don't believe me, but read it for yourself. That's why I chose this one. I said, I started reading about these liens here that long time ago. I got to figure out how to use these. Bulletproof. Once you get it in place, it's done. These people are treated. It doesn't matter who's on them. Got one guy that's filing one against Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. Okay. Proof of claim. This is case law that a bank must provide the original wedding signature note when demanded. These are cases that it states that. Cases. Florida statutes. Bankruptcy Act of 1914, proof of claim. All of your discs. And a lot more. We're going to have another disc. It's going to have about 18. Jackson versus Magnolia, Social Admiralty, Title 28, Rule 5556 talks about the default and summary judgments. Title 18, USC Part 1, Chapter 1, Section 11 basically defines foreign government. And, I just threw this one in there for grins and giggles. Title 15, United States, Chapter 9A, USC, Chapter 9A, weather modification. How many of you have heard that the government can control the weather? Go read about it. It says they can. Right there in the United States Code. I was flabbergasted when I read that. They tell on this stuff. They can do weather modification. Got a treaty with several countries that says they won't use it as a weapon against each other. Title 12 of the United States Code, Chapter 21, read about banking associations. Find out you're part of one. Federal Rules of Evidence, 201D is a good one to read about this stuff. Okay, UCC, tender of payment, notice of dishonor. It gives you the sites there. And modern money mechanics. How banks create money without risk. That's a good book to read. Memorandum of Law is the thing I was reading from you earlier. And articles on produce the note. Florida law on produce. Very interesting stuff to read. Check it out. Prove me that I'm wrong. I promise you, the more you read, the more you're going to be convinced I'm right. Because I've already read it. I know today we did a lot of recap for folks. Probably say, well, a lot of this stuff is useless. But I promise you, when these negative and affirmative start coming together, you're going to see why. I gave you the background in all of this. Start doing them, you'll have something to draw on that you didn't have. Understand your Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights is a great document to find causes of action, to give you standing to bring claims. If they don't do things according to the Bill of Rights, and you're a secured party creditor, guess what? Violated your rights. Because you're not a debtor to the corporation anymore. And if you're not a secured party, please become one.
What happens if they violate it before you got
It depends on a lot of factors. That's a loaded question. But it depends on the contracts you've signed, it depends on the agreements you do, it depends on all
You
that.
broke the contract with the court.
Well, you revoked the contract with the court. Did you have an attorney? Or not either. Section 1. One makes you a secured party creditor. Section 2 establishes your account with the Treasury. What I'm told now is the Treasury, in conjunction with the post office, yesterday I was notified that they're arresting the documents. The post office is not delivering them to the Treasury. They're sitting. If I pay for a registered mail receipt sent to an address and they don't do it, that's fraud. Who else are we coming after next? The United States Postal Service is a private corporation. Treasury has complained about the volume of these things and they don't do it because it puts them in the mix. It makes them responsible. So it doesn't make any difference if they deliver it or not. They're still responsible. If you make law says that if you mail it, it's considered filed.
How does the post office know what's in the...
Well, it's going to the Treasury, so I guess they probably figures out we got stamps on them and it's $20 mail and the addresses are saying non-domestic without the United States. I mean, there's a few telltale clues on there.
Why don't you just try to sell it through the post office?
Well, I guess you could send them through your notary. We have
No,
one.
it doesn't. No, we said everything.
Well, what we'll do next is if they don't do that, then we'll find somebody up there that lives in the area next nearby the Treasury within driving distance of the U.S. Treasury. And what we'll do is we'll just pay a deposit. We'll make somebody rich just deliver them.
I'm paying them $21
Yeah,
to deliver.
well, just pay them. Just give them $50 to go down there and carry them. I'll guarantee we can cover them up. I'd like to have that job. But if they let the mail in. For a legal process server. It doesn't have to be a process server. It don't have to be a deputy.
After you get the maritime lien, that's create the lien, how long does it actually goes into effect?
Put the lien on
Yeah,
the day
when you put the
file.
lien, the day you file it.
The day you file it.
After you file the maritime lien, what do you do next to actually make it?
Okay, there's a
physically
number of
happen?
options. Okay, there's a number of options after that. You can either try to sell the lien, which is what option I took, because they offered me others to do it. So if that works out, then that's great. They've got 6 months to perform. Then I'll do a Chapter 7 liquidation. That's what I'll do next. I'm on UCC 1 and in the local county. I'll show you all of that tomorrow, step by step.
Do you do it both or just one or the other?
Both. Okay, we're going to go through that step by step tomorrow. The whole process. 9 different negative affirmative formats. We're going to talk about every one of them. Accounts. Help develop some if you want to, about how things you can add or change. Because these are just rough drafts. They're not finished. It's hard to make a generic finished product. Addresses everybody's issues. General draft, and then you have to put your special touches in there. Special terms and conditions that you need for your case. Every case is a little different. Some of you, I can tell you already, you're going to be monsters. I'm going to enjoy this almost too much. The truth is, folks, is they have no recourse, they have no immunity to this, they have no defenses. They simply just don't have any defense of this process. Because they're in fraud, and we're going to prove it. You've got a legitimate case, and you've been stepped on, your rights have been violated. I'm going to show you tomorrow, step by step, how to